Good evening. Welcome to the Coralville Center for the Performing Arts. We're privileged to live in a unique part of the nation when it comes to radio broadcasting of jazz programming. KCCK has been giving us a healthy dose of every possible form of jazz, from traditional to avant-garde, for many years. For younger jazz performers, this valuable resource gives them the easy access to learning the art form by listening to the best artists, both past and present. KCCK has taken it further by supporting and being involved with events like this one this evening. Many large metropolitan areas do not have the wonderful resource that many of us have taken for granted. If you are not already a fan of 88.3 or 106.9, you should tune in. If you are a regular listener, I urge you to become an active financial supporter of KCCK when their fund drives happen. I have one quick correction on the program this evening. It's an addition. Mr. Bill Mann is playing with the Silver Swing Band, and somehow we did not get his name on the program. I tried to go through all the programs with a crayon before you got here this evening and write it in, but it just did not work. So we're very happy to have Bill Mann with us in the Silver Swing Band. Getting back to KCCK, Bob Stewart has been the program and music director at KCCK since 2000. He's a four-time winner of Jazz Week's Jazz Programmer of the Year Award, and while at KCCK has met and interviewed legendary performers like Dr. Lonnie Smith, Jimmy and Tootie Heath, Carla Bley, Randy Brecker, Cedar Walton, and countless others. Off the clock, Bob is an accomplished singer, member of the New Midwest Chorale, and an avid baseball fan. Please give a warm welcome to our MC, Mr. Bob Stewart.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to, well, this is our first year at the Coralville Center for the Performing Arts. It's a beautiful facility, and it's great to be here. I've been hosting this program for a good 5 or 6 years now, and it's good to see a pretty full house here tonight for some very fine music from both ends of the generations of jazz. And we're going to start with the lower end of the generation, the high school bands, and we've got some great ones here tonight, starting with the Moline High School Jazz Ensemble. One of two jazz bands at Moline High School. It's an audition group. They regularly place at the Western Illinois Jazz Competition in the 4A division and compete at the Co-College Jazz Summit up in Cedar Rapids. And every spring perform school outreach concerts within the Moline district. This is their fourth appearance at the Generations of Jazz concerts. Zach Morton graduated from the University of Iowa in 2009. During his last 3 years at the university, also served as brass instructor and assistant director to the Iowa City New Horizons Band, a concert band. 4th year as director of the Jazz and Pep Bands, his first year as director of bands. Ladies and gentlemen, Zach Morton and the Moline High School Jazz Ensemble.
Thank you very much. That featured Travis Meyer on alto sax, David Fudge on trumpet, and Jonathan Sanson on tenor. That was a Pat Metheny and Lyle Mays piece called The Girls Next Door. Next, we're going to do another Pat Metheny featuring Ross Hughes on trumpet called Back in Time. Before we play our last tune for you, just want to thank you for having us here tonight. The students and I, we really look forward to this gig every year. Of course, it's first time here. It's fun to see old colleagues, friends, people we used to work with or still do. It's a lot of fun. Thank you, Nancy Wambacher, for hosting this, arranging it all for us. Thank you very much. And thanks to the Coralville Center of Performing Arts for hosting it. Beautiful, beautiful place to play. Last tune for you. It's a Chip McNeil piece featuring Chelsea Crumbleholm on piano and Jonathan Sanson on tenor sax called Aaron's Blues.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for the West Liberty High School Jazz Ensemble. Under the direction of Ashley Smith, a group that is open to all band students in grades 9 through 12. They traditionally participate in several annual festivals, including the Co-College Jazz Summit, the Indianola Jazz Festival, and the SEBA Jazz Festival. Ashley is a recent master's graduate, University of Northern Iowa, with a degree in instrumental conducting. She's also responsible for the marching band and concert band at West Liberty. The Comet Marching Band plays first in class in 2013 Little Hawkeye Marching Band Invitational, and also got a Division I rating in state contest. You've heard them already. Let's hear some more from the West Liberty High School Jazz Ensemble.
Chattanooga Choo Choo by Mike Story. Next up is Blues for BJ by John Edmondson, featuring Clarissa Sanchez and Ross Brown on tenor saxophone and Juan Malagon on trumpet. Thank you. For our last tune, we'll be playing Larry Barton's Brass Attack, featuring Zach Archer on the trumpet.
Next up this evening is the Linn-Mar Colton Center Jazz Ensemble, the premier jazz ensemble, one of 5 jazz bands that they have at Linn-Mar. Group consistently receives superior ratings at the state festival, places well in area competitions, and regularly qualifies for the Iowa Jazz Championships. 115 of Linn-Mar's over 315 band students involved in jazz band. Linn-Mar High School is a nationally recognized Grammy signature school, very active in a program that offers 23 musical ensembles. Dan Terrell received his Bachelor of Music degree from the University of Iowa and was the assistant director to Dr. Dan Kaufman of the Iowa City New Horizons Band while he was studying. At Linn-Mar, Mr. Terrell directs the symphonic band, Colton Center Jazz Ensemble, studio jazz band, and co-directs the Marching Lions. And he's currently working on his Master of Music Education degree at the University of Kansas. Dan Terrell and Linn-Mar's Colton Center Jazz Ensemble.
Thank you very much. That first tune was a Count Basie tune called Swing the Blues. You heard very short solos from many students in the band. Caitlin DeWoody on piano, Noah Perkins on the trombone, Eric Schussler tenor sax, David Tome trumpet, Claire Liskey tenor sax, and Matthew Anderson on the drum set. We are going to continue with a Fred Sturm composition, kind of a contemporary jazz composer called Chronometry. This one will feature Riley Thurm throughout on guitar. Well, I want to echo the words of my colleagues. We love this event. I think I've been doing this. This is my 7th year coming to the Generations of Jazz. It's one of the highlights of the year. We really appreciate coming to an event where we could just have fun, playing music and showing these students that music really is a lifelong endeavor. So my many thanks to the Silver Swing Band, Nancy Wambacher, the people of the Coralville Center here for putting this on. We love this event and appreciate all the time and energy it takes to make this happen. We had a great experience early this year, kind of right away, once we set the jazz bands, to have Wycliffe Gordon come up and work with our students a couple times. Those of you that don't know who Wycliffe Gordon is, you really should. He is probably the best jazz trombonist literally in the world. And he was in Iowa, in Iowa City, through Hansher Auditorium doing some events, and fortunate enough with their help to get him up to our school and work with us a little bit, and through KCCK and an event we call the Corridor Jazz Project, we were actually paired with him to record a piece. And we got to perform one of his own compositions with him called Hallelujah Shout. He's a trombone player, so I've got a couple of our trombone players here from the band to play a little bit. In addition to playing, you're going to hear them sing. And one of Mr. Gordon's points that he made was, you know, the instruments we play are really just extensions of our voice. And I always tell the kids, in my opinion, music is music. It doesn't matter what timbre it is, whether it's an instrument, a singer, hitting something, hitting the wall, you know, all these various things that guy hits. It doesn't matter. Music is music. And so these guys are going to sing a little bit, and then they're going to play some trombone, and we're going to end with Wycliffe Gordon's own composition entitled Hallelujah Shout.
Zip-a-bow. Shibbity-doobity-doobity-boobity-da-dee-dow. Skiddy-bow-doo-dee-doo. Zap-bow-doo-zooby-doo. Diddly-ba-bow-doo-zippity-bop-a-zo-doo-be-ba-ziddly-boo. Yabba-doo-be-bo-dee-bo-da-ya. Oh, ba-da-ba-doo-stee-ba-doo-ba-dee-bow. Ba-do-da-da-da-da-da-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-dow. Yeah, ba-do-da-bow. Ba-dee-ba-da-ba-dee-ba-do-da-do-da. What you gonna say about that? Ba-dee-dee-ba-diddly-ba-bow-ba-doo-da-bow-dee-dow. Dee-ba-ba-ska-ba-bow-za-bow-da-ba-dee-ba-dee-ba-dilly-ba-bow. Shim-be-dee-lip-a-billy-bee-bee. Ska-bow, ska-da-bow. Steep-a-dee-ba-dee-ba-dee-diddly-bee-ba-boo-bee-bee-ba-boo. A skilly dingy dingy, a skilly donga donga, ba do ba zee ba da ba do ba dee ba da bow. Bob, ba ba dee ba ba ya ba da bo do da do. Ba do ba do stee ba da ba dee ba do say how, yeah how. Ba da bo do ba do dee da bo, yeah ba do ba dee ya. Skip-bow, ba-dee-bow, ba-dee-ba-da-ba, ship-bow, diddly-bee-bow. Ra-ba-da-ba-da-bo, dee-ba-da-ba-dee-ba-doo-ba, ra-ba-da-ba-da-ba. Who-bop-shabam, who-bop-shabam, dee-ba-dee-bow, see-ba-boo. Sheena, 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 wa-ba-ba-ba, doo-da-doo-ba-doo-ba. Skiddy-bow, scat-boo-ba-bow. Scat-boo-ba-ba-ra-ba-bow. Diddly-bow-bow, diddly-ba-bow. Ah-ha-ha-ha, oh-oh-oh-oh-oh. Ho-ho-ho-ho-ho. La-la-la-la-la-la. See-ba-bow, ra-ba-da-ba-da-bow. See-da-ba-bow, skilly-diddly-ba-doo-doo-doo. Shoo-hoo. glory, glory, hallelujah, glory, hallelujah, glory, hallelujah, glory, 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 hallelujah, glory, hallelujah.
Since Dan brought it up, let me explain KCCK's Corridor Jazz Project. We get all the high school jazz bands from up and down the corridor every year, get them together with their special guests, and he's mentioned Wycliffe Gordon was one of those this year. Get them all together and record a tune with their special guests, and then in the spring we will have a CD release party and concert in the corridor to a release party. All the bands will be playing with their special guests, so keep it on KCCK. We'll have more information on where and when you can catch that concert and get your CD. And City High is another one of the bands that are part of the Corridor Jazz Project. Just a little bit about the band. Over 100 students participate in one of 4 City High jazz bands. The City High program has established itself as one of the premier programs in the state of Iowa. The jazz ensemble placing consistently at festivals and qualifying for the Iowa Jazz Championships, participating in 6 contests each year and 6 concerts each year. Ryan Arp, his 4th year at City High, where he directs the symphonic band, the jazz ensemble, Jazz Lab Workshop, and co-directs the Little Hawk Marching Band. He graduated from the University of Iowa with a degree in music education and trombone performance. Ladies and gentlemen, Ryan Arp and the City High Jazz Ensemble.
Thank you very much. As Bob said, we are the City High School Jazz Ensemble, and as always, it's excellent to represent Iowa City with this group at this concert. It's always one of our favorite concerts to do for the year, and it's really a great time for us to catch up with old colleagues and to see other bands at this early time of the year. It's excellent for us to all do. And that was Vine Street Rumble. You just heard solos from Jarrett Purdy on piano and Hank Welter on tenor saxophone. It's one of my favorite tunes. It just swings so hard, and it's just a great tune. And our next tune is going to be Sultry Sunset, featuring Sylvia Dean on alto saxophone. This is Duke Ellington's Sultry Sunset. Sylvia Dean. You're going to hear from her. You'll hear from her again doing the same role of playing the role of Johnny Hodges here and on the next tune. That is going to be another Duke Ellington tune, which I found out tonight was actually, the transcription was done by Steve Shanley, who's the director at Coe College, and it was actually commissioned by Dan Terrell and Linn-Mar, and I didn't know that until I came here tonight. It was like, and he asked me what I was playing, and I told him we were playing that tune, and he goes, oh, I asked him to do that. And so all the credit goes to you, Mr. Terrell. Okay, so an excellent tune and a good choice. So we're glad to know we have similar tastes. So this is going to feature in the role of Ella Fitzgerald, it's going to be Amy Ostrom. Again, thanks go out to Nancy Wambacher for all the work that she does putting this together. I know that it doesn't happen automatically, and she has been behind the scenes coordinating all of this to make it happen. And I also want to say a special thanks to those people at the Coralville Center for Performing Arts for hosting this event. It's a beautiful hall, and we're very lucky to have it. So we're proud to play here, and we're glad to get to share this last tune with you. This is Imagine My Frustration by Duke Ellington.
Went down to the dance, sat down by the wall, invited to dance by no one at all. The couples dance fine, so charming and gay, but nobody once looked over my way. I feel so sad, dissatisfied. I hurt so bad, I almost cried. Imagine my frustration with no invitation to dance. Sat down by the wall. Who else can I be but Belle of the ball, who likes what she sees? And a voice said to me, wallflower, my dear, how come you can't see you're not wanted here? Oh, you don't impress. You're just a mess. And in excess, I need a man. Imagine my frustration with no invitation to dance. A smile to the crowd, tiptoe and alert. The band blew and bowed, but nixed on the flirt. A voice said to me, "Wallflower, my dear, how come you can't see you're not wanted here? Whoa, you don't impress. You're an excess. About your dress. Imagine my frustration with no invitation to dance.
Our final high school ensemble this evening is from West Branch High School. The jazz band participating this year in the State Jazz Band, the Co-Jazz Summit again, the Tall Corn Jazz Festival up at UNI and SEBA. Along with Jazz Band 1, students also have the opportunity at West Branch to participate in concert band and marching band. There's a second jazz band, show choir, concert choir, and various a cappella groups as well. They're under the direction of Stacy Spear, graduate of Wartburg College in music education. Stacy's taught at West Side, Iowa for a year before coming to West Branch, now in her second year in leading the music program at West Branch Community Schools. Stacy Spear, West Branch High School Jazz Band 1.
Sanchez, and you heard from Brad Heilman on the trumpet, Katie Hovansik on the alto sax, and Sam Rosnick on trumpet. The next tune we are going to be playing is Song for My Father, and you'll be hearing from Becky on the piano, Abby on the tenor sax, Emmy on the alto sax, and Sam again on the trumpet. It's an awesome experience for us to be able to come here. You know, coming from a small school, we don't really get the opportunity to hear some of these larger school bands all the time. And so I know for me and for these students, it's been a wonderful experience tonight. The last tune we're going to play for you tonight is called The Sermon. And you're going to hear from a little Dixieland combo that'll have Russell Martin and Emmy Shaver on the alto sax, Justin Roth on the trombone, and Brad Heilman on the trumpet. So again, our last tune is called The Sermon.
Well, before we get to our last ensemble tonight, I want to first of all thank you all for coming tonight, making this a very full house this evening. Thank you to the Coralville Center for the Performing Arts for hosting us here tonight. A hand for them. Boy, and all the great bands we've had in here from the high schools and their directors just put on some very fantastic music. It was a pleasure to hear. if you're all here, we want to thank you all for coming, and to the directors too. Let's hear it for those bands tonight, boy. And also, a special thank you to Nancy Wambacher, who is back there in the trumpet section. Nancy, raise your hand. Nancy's responsible for putting together this show every year, and it's just a wonderful wonderful showcase for all these high school bands, and again for the Silver Swing Band to do their thing as well. So great night once again, and look forward to another one next year. But first of all, let's get to our final ensemble for the evening. It is the Silver Swing. They are a subset of the Iowa City New Horizons Band. The Silver Swing started back in 1998, played for a multitude of events and celebrations over the years. The New Horizons Band at large is one of about 200 bands worldwide for the chronologically gifted adults. In addition to Silver Swing, other small groups have grown from the New Horizons Band, including brass ensembles. You've got a horn choir, flute choir, and a polka band as well. Iowa City New Horizons Band started way back in 1995 with just 24 members. They've grown to about 80 members now, and there's also an entry-level band that includes more than 25 members. Their director, James Sherry, has performed across the United States, Europe, and Asia, taught at Johns Hopkins, the Chicago Public Schools, the Mahidol University, Bangkok, where he served as principal trumpet of the Thailand Philharmonic Orchestra. He graduated from Illinois State University, Yale University, earned his doctorate from Peabody Conservatory of the Johns Hopkins University, and is currently pursuing a PhD in music education at the University of Iowa. I want to welcome James Sherry and our Silver Swing Band, ladies and gentlemen.
Ken Hubble on the alto sax. Jerry Zinn on the alto sax. And Jim Hall on the drums. Thank you very much. That was a tune by Neil Hefti called Sunday Morning. You've heard Gen X, Gen Y, and Gen Z. I guess we are the boogieing baby boomers. Next tune we're going to play, it's called Groove Merchant, tuned by Jerome Richardson. Thank you very much. Groove Merchant, featuring Larry Fountain. Good. I'd really like to thank our sponsors, the center here, the staff, and the sound crew. You're great. Thank you so much. The University of Iowa, New Horizons Ensemble. This is a joy and a pleasure to stand up here. I want to thank Nancy again and thank Dr. Aaron Weir for helping to coordinate the bands with the New Horizons, and especially thank West Music, where we've been fortunate to rehearse, and definitely want to thank the Iowa City Senior Center for their gracious support of the New Horizons program. Next, we're going to feature our lead trombone player, Ken Sloniger. Slow things down with a tune called Angel Eyes by Matt Dennis. This is arranged by one of my favorite jazz musicians, a dear man from Illinois, from Charleston, Illinois. Just retired as the director of the Eastern Illinois University Jazz Program, Mr. Alan Horney. Angel Eyes. Angel Eyes, featuring Ken Sloniger on trombone and Ken Hubble on alto sax. Thank you very much. It's a joy being here, and like the young director said, it's a very fun concert. We look forward to this, seeing everybody, hearing everybody. Thank you very much for coming out tonight. We just happen to have one more tune we'd like to play for you. I think you'll recognize it. Bob Grady on the tenor sax. Ray Thorpe on the trombone.
Thank you very much. Roscoe Porch on the piano. And we are the Silver Swing Band. Thank you very much. Have a good night.